2020 pumpkin harvest is called the best ever. Michael Stamp reaches a plea deal in his bank fraud case. And we've got tips to avoid soybean lodging harvest losses. I'm Janelle Bros, and this is Farm News 5.
Farm News 5 is brought to you by Ford.
Two mid-Michigan farmers are reporting their best pumpkin crop to date. After less than a stellar 2019 harvest, the more bountiful pumpkin patches and larger pumpkins are a sight for sore eyes.
The guys that I've talked to, we've all had a good year. Last year was a horrible year. I bet we didn't have 50 pumpkins. This year we got a lot of them. Our only problem here is deer eat some pumpkins. That's a challenge for us, but it's been a great year for pumpkins.
I don't think we've ever had a year in which we had both the number of pumpkins produced and the size of pumpkins. And I would attribute that to two things. One, pumpkins can handle pretty high temperatures. And you may recall in late June and early July, when growth was continuing and flowering was starting, we ended up with a really hot period for a while. That was very conducive to the bees for pollination. We had excellent pollination. We had excellent fruit set. And so we ended up with a large number of pumpkins. Some of these vines behind us here probably had from 3 to 7 pumpkins per vine, and that is a little higher than what normal expectations are. Some of our larger varieties are going to be more from 2 to 3 pumpkins per vine, but they ended up producing some very large pumpkins. We have some varieties that we've got 60-pound pumpkins, which is pretty good. We've never had as many of those consistently in the past as we had this year.
Both the Peacock Road Family Farm and Tannenbaum Farms produce pumpkins and Christmas trees, and they've been preparing for the fall agritourism season and the new restrictions that come with having guests on the farm during a pandemic.
A lot of pumpkins will be handled by differing people as they pick it up, look at it, say, no, not quite that one, the next one over here, and it makes some eventually a selection, but they've handled several of those. So we try to go through and spray them repeatedly to keep that off. We have a sign which advises people to either maintain a social distance of 6 feet and to wear a mask if there are other people in the on the premises. And so we've had pretty good success with doing that.
Our staff is going to have to be masked up, and we're going to ask our customers to wear a mask. We're going to have one person called a COVID buster that's just going to go around sanitizing everything that people touch, and hope we can do that every half hour or so. We really think with the plans we put in, the farm should be fairly safe. I don't think it can be, any place can be 100% safe, but the things we put in practice, I believe, will make us pretty safe.
Michigan's pumpkins are used primarily for jack-o'-lanterns and processing, and the industry generates close to $10 million annually.
You know, farmers, I call them real farmers, they feed our nutritional needs. Christmas tree farmers and pumpkin farmers feed our soul.
Coming up, a federal judge stamps a plea deal for Michael Stamp.
There's torque. Then there's 1,050 pound-feet of available best-in-class torque. There's towing. Then there's up to 37,000 pounds of available best-in-class towing. There's backing up a trailer. Then there's backing up with available class-exclusive Pro Trailer Backup Assist. In other words, there are trucks, and then there's the new Ford Super Duty, the most capable heavy-duty pickup truck ever built.
After 8 years of back-and-forth hearings and a shunned plea deal, it's finally case closed on the fraud trial of Michael Stamp. A U.S. District Judge this week approved an amended plea agreement for Stamp, who pled guilty to 1 count of bank fraud and 1 count of conspiracy to make false statements to the Federal Crop Insurance Corporation. 3 other counts were dismissed. Michael Stamp will be sentenced early next year and could serve up to 8 years in prison. His wife Melissa was facing a charge of bank fraud too, but charges against her will be dismissed. Up next, don't let lodged soybeans ding your bottom line.
Planning for 2019 and beyond? Foster Swift's Ag Law team offers comprehensive legal counsel for farmers and businesses.
Soybean lodging is an issue in some farm fields across the state. Lodged soybeans can not only slow down harvest, but cause harvest losses if not properly managed. Michigan State University Extension recommends harvesting lodged soybeans at a lower ground speed of 2.5 to 3 miles per hour. In addition, position the cutter bar as close to the ground as possible and move the reel axle forward so that it is 9 to 12 inches ahead of the cutter bar. For additional recommendations, visit MSU Extension's Field Crops website. For more news and video, visit MichiganFarmNews.com or the Michigan Farm Bureau channel on YouTube. With Farm News 5, I'm Janelle Brose. Have a great week of farming.